Hello students, we'll study math subject chapter 3 coordinate geometry, okay, of grade 9. Okay, there is one sheet of paper, okay, and I make a dot on it. Okay, so how will you say that, how will you find the location of this dot precisely? Okay, what you will do now, you will take a scale, you will measure the distance of the dot from the bottommost edge of the paper. Okay, so if you measure, it will be 9 centimeter, and from the leftmost edge, if you measure, it will be 5 centimeter. Okay, so these are the coordinates, 9 centimeter and 5. So 9 comma 5 is the coordinate of this dot. Okay, suppose now in a classroom, okay, see, suppose this is your classroom, okay, and you are sitting over here. Okay, there are how many columns? There are 1 2 3 4, there are 10 columns. And how many rows are there? Horizontal are rows and verticals are columns. Okay, how many rows are there? 7. Okay, and this is your teacher's table. Okay, so now just assume that these squares are people sitting in each square. Okay, so now where do you sit? You sit here. So how will you specify that location? You will say that your coordinate is 5 comma 3 because you are sitting in the 5th column and 3rd row. So this is x direction and this is y direction. So first you have to tell about x direction distance. It is 5 units, and y distance is 3 units. Okay, now it is Cartesian system. You know this number line, we have used it many times. Okay, on the right side of 0 are positive numbers, on the left side are negative numbers. Okay, 0 1 0 2 0 3. So this is the distance between 0 and this point 3. Okay, and it will be represented by units. Here there is no centimeter, millimeter, so just you can say units. So the distance from 0 to 3 is 3 units. Okay, and the distance between 0 and minus 2 is minus 2 units. Okay, so now this number line which I showed you earlier, okay, this is that number line. Okay, if you make it vertical, okay, positive numbers will go up, negative numbers will come down. Okay, it makes 4 quadrants. This is first quadrant, second, third, fourth. Okay, these numbers in x direction and y direction are positive, and the number line on the left of 0 has negative numbers. It is called negative x-axis. Okay, and the numbers below 0, okay, are called negative y-axis. Okay, so this number line you have to remember. So you can represent this as first quadrant, second quadrant, third quadrant, fourth quadrant. Okay, where this is plus, and this is minus, and this is minus. Okay, so you can name that as x dash x and y dash. Okay, you can call this plane as a Cartesian plane. Okay, now how will you find the coordinates of P? Okay, first will come x coordinate. Okay, what is the x coordinate? It is a point where the distance is measured from the y axis. Okay, perpendicular distance from y axis. So this will be how many? This will be 4 units. Okay, from 0 if you count, it is 4 units. And what is the y coordinate? The y coordinate is the perpendicular distance from the x axis. From this axis if you measure, it is 3 units. Okay, so the coordinate of P is 4 comma 3. You have to write in brackets. Okay, first comes x coordinate, then comes y coordinate. Okay, for any point in any quadrant. Suppose if you take this point Q, so first will come x coordinate, then this will come, the second one will be y coordinate. What is the x coordinate? So the perpendicular distance from this y axis is minus 6. So x coordinate is -6, and what is the y coordinate? Perpendicular distance from the x axis. So how much it is? -2. So the coordinate of q is, first will come x axis, that is -6 comma this is -2 units. Okay, you have to write in this fashion. Okay, and this will be 4,3. Since it is plus, this is plus first quadrant, second, third quadrant, both are minus. Okay, and here in this quadrant x will be minus and y will be plus. Okay, and in this quadrant x will be plus, y will be minus. So you have to remember this. Now what is the coordinate of this point 0? Can anyone tell? X coordinate is 0 and y coordinate is also 0. So the coordinates is 0, 0, since it is the midpoint of this x axis and y axis. Okay, solve exercise 3.1. Okay, how will you describe the position of a table lamp on your study table to another person? Okay, so you will draw this. This is a study table. And this is your table lamp. Okay, now how will you tell any other person what is the distance of table lamp? So you will measure from this side of the table. How much it is? Let's measure. It is 1.5 centimeters. Okay, this distance is 1.5 centimeters. And how much is this distance? This distance is 1 centimeter. Okay, so now how will you write this? As you remember, I have explained you that to find the x coordinate we measure the distance from the y coordinate. Okay, so this distance is 1 centimeter. So the how will you write? Open bracket 1, 1.5. Okay, this is the coordinate of the lamp. Okay, let's solve this question 2 of exercise 3.1. Okay, street plan. A city has two main roads which cross each other at the center of the city. Okay, there is a city, you can name it A city, which has two main roads. Okay, and which cross each other at the center of the city. Suppose this is the center. Suppose this is the center of the city. Okay, and there are two roads which cross. See, this is one road and this is other road. Okay, see, these roads are in moving in which direction? North south, and this is east west. Okay, they are moving in this direction. So now what is given? All the other streets of the city run parallel to these roads. Okay, now I showed you. Okay, suppose this is the city and there are two roads, main roads. Okay, it runs in east west direction and this runs in north south direction. Okay, now there are 5 streets. Okay, now it is running parallel to, suppose, north south. 5 streets, 1, 2, 3. Okay, 4, 5. It is running to parallel to north south. Okay, and the distance between them is how much? It is 200 meters. Okay, here it is given. Okay, and same way there are 5 streets running parallel to east west direction. The distance between them also is how much? 200 meters. Okay, so I'll draw and show you. There are many cross streets in your model. A particular cross street is made by 2 streets, one running in the north south direction and another in the east west direction. Okay, each cross street is referred 2 in the following manner. Okay, if the second street running in the north-south direction and fifth in the east-west direction meet at some crossing, then we will call this cross street number 2, 5. The x coordinate will be written first, the y coordinate will be written second. Okay, using this convention, find how many cross streets can be referred to as 4, 3. Okay, and second one is how many cross streets can be referred to as 3, 4. Okay, so now this is the pictorial diagram of the cross streets. Okay, one is running east west, the other one is running north south, and this is the center of the city. Okay, so there are 5 streets running parallel to north south and 5 streets running parallel to east west, which are about 200 meters apart. Okay, means the distance between them is 200 meters. Okay, so now what they have asked, the first question, how many cross streets can be referred to as 4, 3. So now for the x coordinate you will measure the distance from y coordinate. So this is y means north south street. So if you measure, it is 4 units. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and to find out the y coordinate, we will measure the distance from the x coordinate. X is 1, 2 and 3. Okay, so you can name it as 4, 3. So there is only one street, cross street, which can be referred to as 4, 3. And the second question is how many cross streets can be referred to as 3, 4. So there is only one street, cross street, which can be referred to as 3, 4. Okay, 3, 4. How have you got this? We measure the distance from the y-axis. This is the y-axis. Okay, if you measure 1, 2, 3, so the x coordinate is 3 and the y coordinate is 4. If you measure it from the y-axis, this is y-axis. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now let's solve exercise 3.2. Okay, write the answer of each of the following questions. What is the name of the horizontal and vertical lines to determine position of any point in Cartesian plane? Okay, see in this figure, if you see, this is one horizontal line and this is one vertical line. If you remember, I named this as x-axis, okay, and this as y-axis. Okay, so the answer for the first question is x-axis and y-axis. Okay, now the second one, what is the name of each part of the plane formed by 2 lines? Okay, now this is the planes formed by these 2 lines. It is called quadrant. If you remember, this first quadrant, second quadrant, third quadrant and fourth quadrant. Okay, so the answer for the second question is quadrant. Okay, now the third one, write the name of the point where these 2 lines intersect. Okay, now where do they intersect? They intersect at this point O, called origin. It is the origin. Now let's solve the second exercise of exercise 3.2. See the figure 3.14 and write the following. Okay, first question is the coordinates of B. Okay, so now see this, look at this figure. Okay, where is B located? Over here. What are the coordinates of B? First you have to write the x coordinate. How will you find out the x coordinate? You will measure the distance from the y-axis. So it is how much? -1, -2, -3, -4, -5. So the distance, the first coordinate is -5, and the distance of y coordinate, how will you find out? You will measure from the point of origin, from the x-axis. So how much it is? This is plus. Okay, you remember this? This is plus, both are plus, x-axis, y-axis, and in this quadrant x is minus and y is plus. Okay, so this will be +2. Okay, so the coordinates of B are -5, 2. Okay, the same way they have asked the coordinate of C. Okay, now where is C located? Over here. Okay, you will have to find out the coordinates. So what are the coordinates? First will come x-axis. So what is the coordinate? If you measure from y-axis, it is 5. This is plus 5, so it is 5, comma, and the coordinate of y-axis is measured from the x-axis. Okay, so how much it is? This is minus 5. Okay, so you will write it minus 5. Understood? Now let's solve the third question. The point identified by the coordinates minus 3, minus 5. Okay, so minus 3, minus 5. So first is x coordinate. So this is minus 3, and the y coordinate is how much? Minus 5. So this. So which is that point represented? It is point E. Minus 3, comma, minus 5. Okay. Now the fourth one. The point identified by the coordinates 2, comma, minus 4. So this is plus and the second coordinate is minus. So it is in which quadrant? This is plus. X-axis is plus and y coordinate is minus. So it will come in fourth quadrant. Okay. So 2, comma, minus 4. Which is that point? It is the point G. Okay. Now fifth question is the apsica of point D. The apsica is the x coordinate. Okay, so what is the x coordinate of D? It is 6. Okay. The coordinate of the point H. Okay, what is the coordinate of point H? It is the distance measured from the y-axis. Okay, so what is the distance of H from the y-axis? It is minus 3. So the ordinate of H, it is not coordinate. Okay, the ordinate of H is minus 3. Now let's solve the seventh one, the coordinates of point L. Okay, where is L over here? It is here. Now what is the coordinate of point L? So now what is the x coordinate of this point L? It is 0. Okay, means if you measure from the y-axis, the distance of L is 0. Okay, since it is on the line, it is on the y-axis. Okay, and what is the y-ordinate of L? It is plus 5. What is the y-ordinate? When you measure the distance from this x-axis, you will get the y-ordinate. Okay, so it is 5. Okay, and the last one, the ordinates of point M. Okay, now where is M over here? It's here. What is the coordinate of point M? It is minus 3, 0. Okay, first comes x-axis and then the y-axis you have to write. So it is minus 3, 0. Now let's try to plot this 3, 5 on the Cartesian plane. Okay, first one is x coordinate, second one is y coordinate. So now how will you plot this x coordinate? It has to be measured from the y-axis. This is y dash. Okay, so you have to measure from here. How much it is? Unit 3 units. Okay, and draw one perpendicular line on this x-axis. Okay, now second one is 5 units. So you have to measure from this point, you call it A. From A point measure 5 units and mark one dot. So that point is P. The coordinates are 3, 5. Okay, same way you will have to plot Q point. Okay, coordinates are 5, minus 4. Okay, 5, that is plus is this side. Okay, and y minus is this side, minus 4. Okay, so it will come in this quadrant. Okay, so 5 units from this y-axis you measure and draw a perpendicular line. Now this is minus 4, so measure minus 4 units from B point and mark that point as Q. So the coordinates of point Q are 5, minus 4. Okay. Now let's try to plot phi 0, first one. Okay, on the number line. First is 5 units. So if you measure from this y-axis, take 5 units, measure 5 units from the y-axis and mark that point. Okay, and the y ordinate is 0, so it is on the x-axis itself. Okay, how will you plot 0, 5? 0 is x ordinate, it has to be measured from y. Okay, so from y if you measure 0, so it is on the y axis itself. Phi is y ordinate, it has to be measured from x ordinate. From here if you measure 5 units, so this is the point 0, 5. Okay, in this way if we try to plot 2, 5, both are positive, so in the first quadrant. Okay, so 2 units from the y axis, 1, 2, draw line perpendicular. Okay, and measure 5 units from this point, so that you will get the y ordinate. So this distance is 5 units. Okay, in this way you can plot this minus 3, 5. Minus 3 is x ordinate, y is phi ordinate. Okay, minus, so it is on the left hand side of this point O. So take 3 units, draw a perpendicular line. Okay, and you can call that as J. Now the y ordinate is 5 units, so you have to measure from x ordinate. You have to measure 5 units, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is that point J, minus 3, 5. Now let's see this example 4. Plot the following ordered pairs x, y of numbers as point in the Cartesian plane using scale 1 centimeter equal to 1 unit on the axis. Okay, so first what you will draw, you will take a graph paper, draw x axis, horizontal line, and vertical y axis. Okay, name them x, x dash, y, y dash, and the origin where they meet point O. Okay, now the question given is x coordinate is minus, so it is on the left hand side of x. Okay, so minus 3. So this, from this, so minus 1, minus 2, minus 3. Okay, draw a perpendicular line. Okay, on minus 3. Now the y ordinate given is 7, it is plus 7, so it is in second quadrant. Okay, 5, this is 6 units, this is 7. Draw horizontal line meeting this point as K. So the ordinates of this are minus 3, 7. Okay, now second one is 0, minus 3.5. X ordinate is 0 and y is minus 3.5. Y ordinate minus means it is over here below this 0. Okay, and first x is 0, so you have to measure from the y axis, so it is on the y axis itself. Okay, and this is minus 3.5, minus 3.5. so how will you plot 1 unit, minus 1, minus 2, minus 2.5, minus 3, minus 3.5. so this is minus 3.5. so you can call this point as L. Okay, and you have to name the coordinates as 0, minus 3.5. Okay, now let's try to plot minus 1, minus 3. Minus 1, minus 3, both are minus, so they are in the third quadrant. Okay, x is also minus, y is also minus. Okay, so minus 1. So if you measure from the y axis minus 1, draw a line perpendicular. Okay, and the y ordinate is minus 3. Okay, so from the x axis measure -3 units, 1 -2 -3 units, and draw horizontal line, and the point they meet you call it as M. Okay, so this is that ordinate, -1, -3. Okay, in the similar fashion you can plot 4 4, x coordinate is 4, y is also 4, both are plus, so they will be in the first quadrant. Okay, 4 units, 4 units, you can call this as S, 4 4. Okay, now let's try to plot this 2 -3. This is the last one. Okay, so 2 is plus. Okay, so you have to measure from the y-axis 2 units, draw a line perpendicular. Okay, and what is the y ordinate? It is -3, so it is below this 0. So -1 -2 -3 from x-axis, draw a horizontal line. Okay, and you can name this point as P. Okay, the ordinates of that are 2 -3.